Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I'm so glad you're here. Before I start tonight, for once, both of my furballs are in camera range. So I will introduce you, even though it will be a little bit from a distance. Up at the top of the chair there is my older cat, Chloe. She's the one that you frequently hear meowing and who is learning that gets her extra treats. And then my younger cat, Alieska, is on the ottoman. And she's my quiet one. And they both stay pretty close to me when I'm home. They're my buddies. So yeah, don't have a house full of kitties, but I've got two very special ones. So anyway, tonight's topic, we're going to be talking about the surrender of the Azov Battalion. Now, I wasn't thinking about that one all day. It's just been in the last few hours that surrender has been accomplished. And they are in the process of removing wounded and combatants from underneath the catacombs of the steel plant where they have been barricaded for over a month. Now, the reason I thought it was important to touch on this story was I checked several sites, and I'm going to share one with you. And as always, if you haven't already thought of this, you are welcome to pause the screen and check and see what site I'm using in case you want to read on your own or follow it up further. And it may be some way to get a list of other alt media sites. And I will say this, this is a site I hadn't been to before. I just liked this particular article. So if you do check them out, use your own discretion. See if what they say resonates with you and take away what you can. 1 second and I'll share that screen. Okay. The breaking news was found on this site amongst others. And what I enjoyed about this site was they were the only one that happened to mention that within minutes of the agreement, Azov wounded and sick began being brought out from the catacombs beneath the steel mill. And here's what wasn't included with other reporters. The Russian army had ambulances and Red Cross type emergency vehicles at the ready. Other reporters mentioned ambulances, but they don't want to give the Russian army credit for helping with getting the wounded to care and safety. And so, you can check your articles out. You may find some that do have that information. This one did. I enjoyed it. I felt like it gave me a good little overview of what was happening. It does mention that within the next 24 hours, they will be able to determine, and this is probably one of the reasons that the Russians were the ones that manned the ambulances and stuff. They're going to make sure that those coming out of the catacombs are truly Azov Battalion members and not others who are masquerading as Azov Battalion. So NATO, mercenaries from other countries. We'll see, we'll see. And in the meantime, while we're waiting, let's ask the universe about it, okay? I'm going to switch pins and let you see me shuffle. My question is to the universe is going to be, those combatants and wounded who are leaving the catacombs under the steel mill, are they going to be finding that they have some people masquerading as Azov Battalion members amongst them? And can the universe enlighten us about whether the civilians that had been under there, were they being protected by the Azov Battalion, or were they being used as human body shields? So that news hasn't come out. Let's see what the universe has to say. Thank you. So what does the universe want us to know about the combatants leaving the catacombs? Are they a percentage of them pretending to be Azov members? And the civilians that were under there, were they being protected, or were they being used as shields? What does the universe have to tell us? First card. Oops, sorry, there's two there. Maybe time for a new deck. First card's Judgment. Second card is Three of Swords. Third card is Ace of Pentacles. Fourth card is Seven of Swords. Fifth card is Queen of Cups. Sixth is 10 of Cups. And the Four of Wands is our other clarifier. Here's what the cards are telling us. The situation is the Judgment card, how often that one comes up. And it's about the situation for the battalion, okay? And the Three of Swords is about heartache and loss. And I'm going to say the information I'm getting, the insights I'm getting are that we are going to discover that some of those people that were down there, the combatants, that some of them are simply masquerading as such. In recent past, we have the Ace of Pentacles. That means that the situation is coming to the best possible solution it can under the circumstances. And we have the Seven of Swords. This is why I'm saying that some of those people are trying to pretend like they were part of the Azov Battalion and they're not. And they're going to be found out. The Seven of Swords, as you can see, he's a thief. He's trying to sneak away with what he can and get away with at least part of what he can. So there are people there that are going to be outed as being non-Azov Battalion members. Queen of Cups is our near future, which means that those people that are genuinely were in need of rescuing are going to be treated compassionately. Those people that were, for whatever reason, forced into those catacombs will be treated respectfully. I am getting the information that they were there not of their own volition, that they would have left much sooner. And when they were offered the chance to leave, the Azov Battalion wouldn't allow it. So they were being used as shields. So our clarification for that now is those people that are now topside, those civilians are celebrating. They're in a much better place. They're being cared for, and they're no longer being used as shields. And so they're in a good place. Let's see what else the universe wants to tell us about the situation. Okay. The eyes of the world are watching the whole thing. And we are coming to the end of this conflict. However, there are still some losses to be had. The moon often is about lies too. So again, I'm not surprised to see this because the mainstream news has been trying to do nothing but vilify one side and glorify the other since the start. And it's been really hard to find a balanced perspective. In fact, the tarot reads provide a more balanced perspective than the mainstream news. And to that I say shame on you. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, comment. I'm good for all of it, okay? In the meantime, use your own critical thinking, look at lots of sources to find what news you can. And if something doesn't resonate with you, it's true, whether it's my card reading or some site you go to, then blow it off, because nobody's ever right all the time, but by the same token, nobody's wrong all the time either. So get what you can from multiple sources and put it together in a way that makes your world make sense to you. Thank you. Good night.